This is a big thing that we're talking about here. Churches and the transition of church land. And it's way bigger than any of us here in this room. Estimates are 100,000 churches closing or repurposing in the next decade. That's like a third of them in the United States. I do know that the time is now. This is a huge sea change that's happening in the American church. This is a sort of a once in a many generation moment that we're in. More churches close than are opened every year now in the United States, and that's sort of the world we live in at this moment.
The opportunity that exists right now with churches across the country to be able to recapture property that can be used for community benefit. And too many churches may think that the only option is to sell these properties. And in some cases, that's right. In other cases, they just need to know what all the other options are.
Now that means that the church needs to use the resources that it has. One of the greatest of those resources is its property, to think about what it means to be a neighbor, not just to serve neighbors, but to be a neighbor. So how are they using their property resources in ways that bring about human flourishing in their community?
So I was thinking about the math of the financial reality of this situation. Let's say there's 350,000 churches, properties in the United States. And let's say less than 5% of them are available to repurpose, expand their use, redevelop, add to in some way. That'd be 15,000 properties. So 5%, less than 5%. Let's say the average size of a project on one of those properties is $30 million. Some of them are much bigger, 100 million, some of them are much smaller. That would put it at $450 billion of potential on 5% of the churches in the United States. That's a lot. That's a big number. Now, let's assume that each of those projects requires like 30% subsidy to make it a good project. That would be $135 billion of subsidy that would be needed to make these projects good. That's the number we're talking about here. That catalytic money that's going to turn this movement, this shift in land from just whatever into beautiful and into good. $135 billion. It's huge, which is why it's so much bigger than all of us here, and that we're trying to sort of work together collectively on this.